How's it going, everybody? This is Respectful Wrestling Discourse. My name is Billy Collins, joined today by just Remmie, because Jonesy couldn't do it, and yeah, Adam couldn't do it either. But yeah, Rem, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. A lot of wrestling stuff going on this week.
Of course, dude.
Past week.
Yeah, and we were really late, trying to figure out scheduling and when we could get this up. But we're getting it up now. That's what she said. So there was a lot of stuff that happened last week, and the Royal Rumble, NXT, and New Japan. We're gonna talk about everything. So Rem, where do you want to start? What do you think? What are you thinking?
I think we got to start with the elephant in the room, the Bullet Club Civil War.
Oh, dude, yeah. So let's start with New Japan. There's a few small things, and then one gigantically huge thing. So the New Beginning in Sapporo, it was a 2-day event. Day one, there wasn't a whole lot going on except the main event. Minoru Suzuki beat Hiroshi Tanahashi for the Intercontinental title. And that match was really, really good. And the whole thing was Suzuki just brutalized Tanahashi. He worked over his bad knee the entire match. And in the end, he put Tanahashi in a heel hook, which in mixed martial arts, you put someone in a heel hook, they tap out literally instantly because the amount of strain on your Achilles tendon is just too much. And it was the second or third time he had put on the heel hook in this match, and the ref was just like, nope, I can't watch this anymore. He stopped the match, so Suzuki is the new Intercontinental Champion. Tanahashi never tapped out. My guess is he's probably going away for a few months, and yeah, that's that. The crowd was totally dejected because everyone loves Tanahashi, and Suzuki is such a great asshole heel, but he's also an amazing wrestler. Yeah, anyway, that was the main highlight from day one. Day two was where the big action started, really. So the small thing first, we learned that the next challenger for Suzuki for the Intercontinental title is going to be Togi Makabe, which is not exciting at all. The combined age of the next Intercontinental title match is 95. So there's no reason to think Makabe is going to win. I was hoping it would be Juice Robinson, but
That's not happening. That's not happening.
No, dude, it is what it is.
But Juice.
What was that? I didn't catch that.
But Juice.
Dude, Juice is so good. Juice had a match with Katsuya Kitamura, the young lion that's also a bodybuilder, and Kitamura the night before had a match with Michael Elgin, and that match was not that good, but this match against Juice Robinson was really good. Not really good, but it was fine. Juice is a star. He's gonna be some sort of champion soon. So anyway, what's next? Yeah, so let's see. Oh, the Young Bucks and Roppongi 3K. Ram, take it away.
Okay, so real quick iteration. I saw New Beginning Day 2 just out of nowhere. Same with Bill here. You see, it was late, and I just got home from work, and I was just like, oh, New Beginning's on, and then I saw that Billy was doing the same thing. And then we stayed up to watch the entire show live as it was happening.
Yeah, dude, it was I was just planning on watching the first couple of matches and then going to sleep and watching it first thing when I woke up. But then you were like, Billy, give me your New Japan World login information so we can watch this together. And so we did that. And then I was like, fuck it. If the Bullet Club implodes tonight, I want to see it live. And so, yeah, that was that.
Exactly. And it's it was very odd, but the Young Bucks match was absolutely phenomenal because, the storytelling in it was very well put together because it comes down to something that happened within the Bullet Club, which I'll talk about later. So the Young Bucks, they lost their titles to Roppongi 3K, and that was all the reasoning because of Matt Jackson. And now, before I iterate something, people like to complain about the Bucks that they don't sell.
Oh, dude.
You see, you see this match and you see Matt Jackson selling that back, and then you tell me that they don't sell.
Dude, Matt's selling was so good. And you know what? This match was really, really good. It might have been better than their Wrestle Kingdom match. And their Wrestle Kingdom match was really good.
I very much agree. But that wasn't the only thing. They lost their titles to Roppongi 3K. And the next match was the main event of the U.S. title, Kenny Omega versus Jay White.
I want to say one more thing. I want to say one more thing about the tag team match. So Rem, your stream was a few seconds ahead of mine, and so we had it muted so we could just like chat over the Discord. And so I was just you went silent for a second. I was like, I swear to God, if the Young Bucks lose, and then Matt got rolled up, and I was like, I was blown away, and you were like, I didn't want to say anything because it had already happened on your stream when I said I hope they don't lose.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a great match. Roppongi 3K are champions again.
Yeah, but like it all comes down to the storyline. Here's the thing: Kenny Omega versus Jay White. Kenny Omega, he brought out the best in what Jay White has right now, essentially. Because Jay White was only okay when I first saw him.
Yeah, the thing with Jay White, he's good, but he's he's the I've just been wrestling for a couple of years good, where he's not spectacular at really anything, but he does a bunch of the little things right, and you know he can have a solid match when he needs to.
I agree. He also looks like the kid from 2.5 Men.
He does kind of
like emo haircut.
Yeah, he's like a less fat version of the kid from 2.5 Men.
Yeah, I agree. But here's my problem with him. It's his face. He has a nice costume. He has a nice gimmick. He has nice music. He has cool looking build. But I don't like his face.
Dude, oh my God. So he has such a baby face, and then he has like it's horrible, but it's like the school shooter look. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Dude, dude, I know it's bad, but like.
Oh, will you stop?
It's like, oh, I'm gonna bring my knives to school and show them off to the kids at my locker, like that. That's.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's Jay White's look. I apologize if that's offensive. I apologize, but man, that was just like, that's what comes to mind when I look at Jay White.
Okay, hey.
Yeah. So anyway.
Hey, man.
Yeah. So this match was like solid. There was one thing, that like it really bothered me. It bothers me about like every single Kenny Omega match, and it's like Kenny Omega is like one of the best wrestlers in the world, but in every single Kenny Omega match, there's just something that makes me cringe. Like, oh my God, you are an idiot. You are shortening your career or your opponent's career. And in this one, so like they were on the outside of the ring, and Kenny powerbombed Jay White onto some folding chairs. And the way his lower back bent on these folding chairs, I was like, he's gonna blow out a vertebrae, and he's gonna take 5 years off of his career for that one spot. And it's like, there are like brutal spots that look cool, like going through a table, and then there's brutal spots that don't look that cool. And there was another one in NXT that I want to talk about, but this just like.
We're not talking about NXT.
Yeah, right. It felt so unnecessary, and it looked so brutal. But yeah. In time.
Now, let's get to the match was solid. Jay White ended up winning, which was kind of a shock.
Clean as a whistle, mind you.
I mean, it was very much so essentially he dropped it to Jay White, and at that point, all the belts are with Chaos.
Yeah, almost every belt. So like the heavyweight belt on Okada, the U.S. title on Jay White, the Never title on Hiroki Goto, the junior title on Will Ospreay, and the junior tag titles on Roppongi 3K. The only titles they don't have are, let's see, the Intercontinental title and the heavyweight tag team titles and the 6-man titles.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So,
and then after that,
yeah, let's break this down.
Go ahead. You explain this.
Yeah, let's break this down. So, it's a time-honored tradition in New Japan At the end of a championship match, the next challenger comes down and is like, hey, I'm challenging for the belt. So as soon as this match ends, Jay White is handed the title belt, and down from the ramp comes Hangman Page. And he gets in the ring, and he grabs the belt from Jay White, and he holds it up like, hey, I'm challenging for the belt. Like, this happens all the time. But then Kenny Omega gets to his feet, and he snatches the belt from Hangman and tosses it to Jay White. And basically, like, just taking the moment from Hangman, like, not allowing him to challenge. And so then let's see what happened next. So Cody runs down, right? And he gets in Omega's face, like, what are you doing, stealing his moment? And then there's a bunch of shoving. Oh, and during this match, so, like, Kenny's always accompanied to the ring by the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. But this time, Nick was the only one with Omega. So in the ring now, it's Cody, Hangman, Kenny, and Nick. And so Kenny and Cody start shoving back and forth. And then Marty Scurll, he runs down, and he's just trying to play peacekeeper. You know, everything's fine, whatever. And then there's more shoving. Matt Jackson found his way into the ring. Kenny turns around and shoves Matt Jackson. And then he's like, oh my God, I did not mean to do that. Because, like, Matt's like his best friend. And so the Young Bucks leave. They're like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, Kenny? And Kenny's just so sad, and he's so dejected. And then Kenny goes to Hangman. He's like, it's fine. Let us handle this. And Marty's like, you two figure this out. And so Kenny and Cody talk for a little bit, and then they're like, okay, we're fine. And so they go to leave the ring. And as Kenny steps through the ropes, Cody grabs him and hits him with a crossroads. And so then Marty and Hangman come back, and Cody's like, Hangman, grab him. And Marty's just like, what are you doing, man? He's like, what am I doing? And he takes off his jacket, and he has Hangman grab Kenny, and he's about to attack Kenny. But then Kota Ibushi runs down and makes the save. And they
monstrous pop.
Oh, dude, it was unbelievable. Everyone was so happy. And so the rest of Bullet Club clear the ring, so it's just Kenny and Kota in the ring. And Kenny's helping himself to his feet with the ropes, and Kota's reaching out for a handshake. And Kenny stands up, and it was one of those moments like, brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug. Kenny embraces Kota Ibushi with the biggest hug, and all this confetti flies out, which logically speaking should have popped out for when Jay White won the U.S. title, but it's fine. They're hugging, embracing in the ring. The Golden Lovers are back, and God, it was so great. There aren't that many moments in wrestling that, like, are worth getting emotional about. This was one of them. The Golden Lovers are back.
Now here's the thing. What this led to was not him being kicked out of the Bullet Club. In fact, it's very complicated, as Marty Scurll would say.
Yeah, so since then, two relevant episodes of Being the Elite have been uploaded on YouTube. And one of them was Bullet Club is Fine. And it was just like the backstage version of what just happened in the ring. And it's like Cody's backstage. He's like, Hangman, come on, that was your moment. It's a time-honored tradition. And then he just storms out like, Bullet Club is fine. And then the episode that was just uploaded today, February 2nd, when we're recording this, Jesus Christ, it was so great. So everyone is so like sad and broken up about Kenny and Cody like being like not on the same page, except for Cody. Cody's all happy, smoking a cigar. He's just loving life, but everyone else is sad about the implosion of Bullet Club. Were you gonna say something, Rem?
And that's the best part of it, is that Cody is being built as an amazing villain right here.
Yeah.
Because he's oblivious that he's tearing his friends' lives apart. It's absolutely amazing that how they're just making him just terrible. Just absolutely the most hateable person. And this is one of the most, like, this is the guy who's a heel that was over as fuck. And I boo him. Like, he's being made so hateable right now, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and so at the end of that episode of Being the Elite, it was revealed that at Supercard of Honor 12 on April 7th, which is the day before WrestleMania, Kenny Omega versus Cody. And, like, I don't know if the implications have been made official, but it feels like it's one of those whoever wins controls Bullet Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite clear. I'm not going to make assumptions that Kenny is going to win.
God, I hope so. But the intriguing thing is, like, I thought they would totally do this match, like, under the New Japan banner, but instead they're doing it in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought maybe even they'd save it for the All In show, which we still don't know where that's going to be. It's fine. But that seemed like it would be a fitting main event for a Bullet Club funded show. But it's fine.
Yeah, well, it's just like, it's very intriguing, because this is essentially the Bullet Club Civil War.
Yeah. And, oh, one big thing. It was the episode where Cody was like, Bullet Club is fine. The very last image we see, it's a hotel. Kenny is walking down the hallway of a hotel, and he gets to this room 710. And the Young Bucks open up the door. And you just see a shot of Kenny all sad. And then Kota Ibushi steps into the frame. And then they both walk into the hotel room, and that's that. And so now it's like...
The Young Bucks.
Yeah, and so, like, what happened in the hotel room? Like, how does Kota Ibushi fit into this? Like, if Kenny beats Cody, then, like, where does that put Ibushi? Is he just gonna be the Winter Soldier, like, as you would say?
Yeah. Yeah.
He just shows up. I mean, he walks Kenny down to the ring. I don't know. My guess would be... Actually, I don't know. Maybe they could
Here's
do...
the thing.
Yeah.
I thought this was all going to end in a Cracker Barrel parking lot, but, like, hey, whatever.
Dude, Cracker Barrel, like a Cracker Barrel death match.
Yeah, like, remember the airplane scene if we're talking about Civil War right now?
Yeah, dude, maybe what they can do is Kenny wins at Supercard of Honor, and then at some point later down the line, maybe at, like, the G1 Climax, Cody costs Kenny, meaning Kenny won't be main eventing the Tokyo Dome, and so then they have a rematch at the Tokyo Dome, and that's their big blow-off to this feud.
I'm thinking it's a little bit of a thing. I think the Civil War is going to last till Supercard of Honor, and that's really it.
You think so?
I feel like they're actually going to get back on the same page.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, angles to consider, because, like... So
Well,
Bullet Club's... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but think about it. All the belts are with Chaos.
Yep.
And they are being torn apart by each other. All the more reason for them to get back on the same page and take the fight to Chaos. Hell, didn't it happen with Tongaloa? Or Tama Tonga? With Kenny?
So, like, that was what I was going to mention, was so, like, Bullet Club started in New Japan, and the, like, most OG of the OG Bullet Club members are Tama Tonga and Bad Luck Fale, and Tama said publicly that, he didn't say it in these exact words, but he basically alluded to the idea that he would only really get behind Kenny, and he didn't think Cody had really earned the right to be considered the leader of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's so much to take in with this story, and I don't know, man. There's still 2 months to build up this match.
I mean, I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie. Team Kenny all the way.
Yeah, dude. God, if Kenny loses, it'll be it'll be so sad.
Oh, it's gonna be an emotional match. Here's the thing. You're kind of built to be behind Team Kenny, and that's why I think Kenny's gonna win, because they make you think that Kenny's the one being kicked out, but it's really not. It's more just a giant, like, confliction.
Yeah. Kenny, God, he's just so easy to root for. Like, he just, his match against Chris Jericho and now this, it's like, man, this guy is a natural babyface. He's just so good.
I mean, they gave him the go to turn babyface at some point. I feel like that was his face turn with Kota Ibushi.
Oh, of course.
His face turn.
Of course. And, a lot of people read this, Kenny losing the belt and then getting kicked out, I say, in air quotes, of Bullet Club. A lot of people read this as, like, oh, Kenny's going to be in the Royal Rumble. And it's like, man,
He was, though.
But, like, there's so many logistical issues with that. So, like, first off, it would have been physically impossible for him to fly to Philadelphia from Sapporo in enough time to be in the Men's Royal Rumble. And then he's just starting off... Dude, and he's just starting off the hottest story of his career. Why would he bail right now? There's so many issues with that. Plus, it was reported very publicly that he signed a contract extension just a few weeks ago. Yeah.
I love to talk about this. Like, this is one of the most compelling stories in wrestling, like, in a long time. Okay, not quite a long time, but in a while. But I love to keep talking about this. But speaking of Royal Rumbles, and perhaps a little bit of TakeOver.
Oh, and speaking of compelling stories, so, okay, I'm not going to lie right now. I didn't watch the entirety of TakeOver. I missed the entirety of the first match.
Oh, yeah, me too. I watched the main event that Meltzer gave 5 stars. Sorry, guys, I'm not very listening.
Yeah, so there's like a couple things that I like am gonna talk about this show. So like Adam Cole versus Aleister Black first off in the Extreme Rules match. This was really, really good, and I was thinking like, oh, this is like a match of the year candidate, and the match of the year candidate lasted all but like a half hour before Gargano and Almas, which is actually the match of the year right now. So anyway, Black and Cole had a hell of a violent weapons match. There was another stupid spot in this one. You know how I mentioned the power bomb onto the chairs and how it was stupid and only shortens your career? Another spot like that happened in this. So there's 2 chairs set up in the middle of the ring. They're back to back, so that like the backrest of the chairs are against each other in the middle. And so Aleister Black gets Adam Cole up on his shoulders. And he does a Death Valley driver onto the chairs. He just throws him spine first onto the chairs. And God, that's another spot that is like even worse than the powerbomb onto the chair spot. This was just so stupid because first off, it doesn't look that cool, but it looks like Adam Cole ruptured his fucking spine. All right, so like later on in the match, Aleister Black went through a table off the top rope, and it's like, that looks really cool, and the table actually cushions the fall, so that's fine. But a Death Valley driver onto the backs of 2 chairs, that's just gonna fuck you up, alright? Like, that's not cool.
I mean, don't you mean the one-winged angel?
No. The Death Valley driver, it's like the attitude adjustment, but like he doesn't, you don't like put your body into it. The One-Winged Angel is just like an the One-Winged Angel is just like, it's an electric chair power slam, honestly. But yeah, a Death Valley driver.
Electric chair driver, essentially.
Yeah. So
one of my favorite finishers in wrestling right now, but I gotta stop fanboying about Kenny Omega.
Dude, it's all good. Then like the One-Winged Angel is like low key the most protected move in wrestling right now. Like nobody kicks out of that.
Yeah, that's why he rarely hits it, and there's a lot of counters to it.
Of course. But anyway, so like back to the NXT. So you had Cole and Black. It was a hell of a match. Aleister Black won, and this win would have some implications into the main event, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas had a goddamn amazing match. Rem.
Oh God! I saw it. I saw it a few days later. Reportedly about four or 5 days later. It was after the Meltzer scoring came out.
Yeah, first 5-star match in WWE since CM Punk and John Cena in 2011. Jesus Christ.
It was outstanding. Outstanding.
Yeah, dude. The whole story was Johnny Gargano is the underdog, and absolutely everything in its power is going to stop him from achieving his dream of being the NXT champion. And God, it was so beautiful. Johnny Gargano is the best babyface in wrestling today.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Johnny Gargano is like absolutely like amazing. Like he has the look. He's such an underdog. I think he's like the new Daniel Bryan. Like everyone says Roderick Strong or Finn Balor is. I think he's essentially Johnny Gargano is the new Daniel Bryan.
Dude, the thing is, because like
he has a great fucking theme, very fucking look. He's just such an amazing underdog babyface that it's insane. He's so compelling.
Dude, like it's really hard to find a good white meat babyface in wrestling today. Johnny Gargano is exactly that. He's simple. He's just an underdog who wants to win, but he doesn't win all that often. So when he does win, it's even more special. And he just executes everything about that character just perfectly. And this match was a prime example.
I agree.
Yeah, and
phenomenal match. Like you can't even really put it in the words. Like, let's be honest here. If you just go out and see it, like it's something you just need to take time out and see.
There are really, honest to God, there are not many matches you should really go out of your way to watch, but that you should go out of your way to watch this match. I was in a group chat with some other people that like wrestling. It's for my blog. Gonna shamelessly plug my blog. Rotoden.com, ROTODEN.com. Check it out. I write there sometimes. Anyway, right after the match, this one dude was like, hey, so I'm not watching TakeOver, but everyone on Twitter is saying that Gargano and Almas is like one of the best matches they've ever seen, and it's 5 stars. Can anyone confirm? And I was like, my dude, you need to see this match. Like, honest to God, like, one of the 5 best matches I've ever seen. I wouldn't have been surprised if Meltzer rated it above 5 stars because it was just so damn good. Slam dunk, perfect match. Now, the big thing that was disputed among fans about this match was the result. Andrade Cien Almas won and retained the NXT title against underdog perfect babyface Johnny Gargano. Yeah, I know you don't like it. I'm gonna try and defend it. So here's the thing.
It's like, okay, no. Here's the thing. It's not that it's like absolutely like almost, winning was actually kind of, in hindsight, especially from future tapings, makes sense.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a sec.
It would have been damn nice to see Gargano win. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, the pop would have been unreal. But here's the thing with Andrade Cien Almas. So he went into his match against Drew McIntyre at TakeOver War Games with everybody thinking like, oh, this guy has no chance of winning. He hasn't really been built properly. And so he won the title, and it's like he just didn't feel as legit as past champions. And so I think he really, really needed this win. Everyone and their mother wanted Johnny Gargano to win. And so Andrade winning really gets him over as a heel. It's like, oh, I put down your beloved babyface. I'm the king of this brand. And God, I don't know. There's not too much to say about it. Andrade, he now feels about as legit as an NXT superstar can feel. I don't know. There's not much else to say about it. It was just so great.
That was just go out and see it. I can't really explain how great it is because you just have to see. It's just so good.
I can't put it into words. Oh, Candice LeRae interfered in the match to stop Zelina Vega from interfering against Gargano. And that got a huge pop, and it was unreal. So yeah.
Cool.
I think the logical step next would be Almas against Aleister Black at New Orleans? ? Maybe. I don't know. I can't think of any other babyface that really could challenge Almas at this point. But yeah. And then at the NXT tapings this week. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know anything about the tapings, just tune out for a second here. So Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas, they had a loser leaves NXT match. It was like title versus being able to stay on the brand. And spoiler alert, Andrade Cien Almas won, retained the title, and Johnny Gargano is gone from NXT. Oh my God, we missed the most important part of this whole thing. After the match, after the takeover match, Tommaso Ciampa came back. Oh my God, we skipped over that completely.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he came back. He had Gargano with a crutch. And so that, I don't know when they're going to do that match because Gargano's leaving NXT. Oh, and yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, totally. Maybe William Regal is like, hey, Ciampa, that behavior is not acceptable. And so I'm bringing Johnny Gargano back for one match at TakeOver New Orleans. And then that's the whole match. But yeah, the NXT tapings, Ciampa interfered and cost Gargano the match, and so Gargano is going to the main roster.
Goes to main roster.
Yeah, he's going to the main roster. Maybe he'll go to 205 Live. I don't know.
A fate worse than death.
Oh,
Loser goes to main roster.
I mean, 205 Live was kind of good this week. I don't know. But we can talk about that a little bit later. Yeah. Any other thoughts on NXT?
No, I think it just seems we should talk about the main event of the evening, the Royal Rumble.
Of course.
Which was
awesome.
Probably one of the best Rumbles of the 2010s.
Yeah,
not
so
even 2010s, more to the late 2010s.
Yeah, so for reference, Dave Meltzer rated the 1992 Royal Rumble, won by Ric Flair, acclaimed by many as the best Royal Rumble of all time, 3 3/4 stars. He rated this Royal Rumble 4 1/4.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I do agree with the prospect of 92 being probably the best Rumble.
You look at the amount of Hall of Famers that were in that match, and it's just like, it's awesome. And Ric Flair's ultimate Iron Man performance, cheered on by Bobby the Brain Heenan, rest in peace, the entire time. It's brilliant.
It is a brilliant. Like, I recommend seeing that. Like, if you want to look back and see a Rumble, you're gonna have to watch that one. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude. So the men's Royal Rumble match. So Shinsuke Nakamura won. The thing is, like, Adam will agree with this. It didn't feel like Shinsuke had that feel to him enough to just win the Rumble unless you had previously known of his work in New Japan and NXT and whatever. So, like, the goal of this match was get Shinsuke over. Get him over so him winning feels legit.
Oh boy, did they make him feel over.
Dude, the final 3 was Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. And Nakamura eliminated both of them to win the thing. Like, he eliminated the 2 faces of the company. And it's like, if that doesn't make a guy feel legit, I don't know what will.
I don't know. It was insane. It was beautiful. Because, like, we're actually getting... Like, it seems as if that AJ is not going to lose his title before WrestleMania. And we are getting Styles versus Nakamura.
Yeah, which that, like... If you don't watch New Japan, then you'll hear people hyping up AJ versus Nakamura as a dream match, and like maybe you won't understand why. So at Wrestle Kingdom 10, January 4th, 2016, Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles had a match for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. And it was just awesome. That's another match, like, I wouldn't say you have to, but like you should watch that match. Like, it was just so good. And so that's why when Nakamura got called up to SmackDown, it was like, cool. When are we getting AJ Nakamura again? And so now we're getting it at WrestleMania. It'll be like it was at Wrestle Kingdom 10. It'll probably be the semi-main event behind Brock and Roman, and that's fine.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to win the Elimination Chamber this year.
Yeah, dude, it's totally unpredictable. I mean, maybe it could be Elias. Maybe we'll get Elias versus...
I mean, I'd love to see that.
But yeah, so one thing that made this Rumble really, really good was the surprise entrance. So there were 4 big surprise entrants in this Rumble. It was Andrade Cien Almas, the NXT champion. Adam
Great,
Cole.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about Adam Cole? Not enough people acknowledge the fact that he was in that Rumble.
Dude, and it's like Adam Cole, he's a native of Pennsylvania, like not too far from Philadelphia, and so he got a huge pop when his music hit.
Yeah, and it was like his first Rumble, and he did like a lot. It was really cool. Like, it just felt cool.
Yeah, and the other surprise entrants were Hurricane Helms and Rey Mysterio. Dude.
Okay, yeah. Oh, man. I gotta talk about Rey Mysterio, if I may digress.
Go for it.
Rey Mysterio, him coming out, like, at number 27 in 2018. Well, for one, who expected him to be in that Rumble? Like, no one expected it.
Dude, okay, so, like, in that group chat with my blogger buddies, a lot of them were like, guys, I think Rey Mysterio should come back and be in the Royal Rumble. Like, that'd be awesome if Rey Mysterio came back. Like, I love Rey Mysterio. And it was like, and I was just thinking, like, I guess there's, like, an ever so slight chance of that happening. But the whole thing with Mysterio is that he's represented by Conan, and Conan is, like, not on good terms with WWE. So I was thinking, like, it's probably not going to happen. And then his music, the clock ticks down, and then his music hits, and I was like, I was blown away. To put it in simple terms, I was blown away.
I mean, it was absolutely insane. Because here's the thing about Rey Mysterio. When I was a kid, Rey Mysterio was my first favorite wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He was like my dude, man. Like, and just, like, the child in me. Just hearing Booyaka Booyaka one more time.
Yeah.
In 2018 was just astounding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and as far as we know, he's not coming back full time, if at all. This was probably just...
Because plain and simple, they're negotiating. And the door is open. But they haven't quite come to a deal.
Right, because his deal with Impact fell through. And so, he's not going back to Lucha Underground, so WWE seems like the logical next step. Let's see. What else?
I hope so.
Yeah, so... Oh, God, what else happened on this show? Besides the men's Rumble, the rest of the show is honestly a blur. Oh, you know what? You know what happened? The SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I wanted to get, like, one note on this, because this match blew my mind. Not because, like, the match was, like, really good or anything. It's just... So it was a 2 out of 3 falls match, and when you book a 2 out of 3 falls match, it's because the 2 teams or the 2 competitors in the feud are, like, so evenly matched, and so that one fall... It wouldn't be fair for one fall to decide who was better. And so, with this, the Usos versus Gable and Benjamin, first off, it was really weird, because the first fall took forever. It took just so long, and both teams were just kicking out of big moves left and right, and I was like, what is going on here? And so eventually the Usos get the first fall, and it's like, cool, they're up 1-0, now the next logical step is Benjamin and Gable to get a fall, and then we go to a decisive third fall. That didn't happen. The Usos rolled up, it was Gable, I think, and they pitched a shutout. They won the match 2-0, and it's like, it blew my mind, because it's like, they've been kind of forcing Gable and Benjamin on us for so long. They've been trying, like, after the Usos New Day feud, it was like, okay, we just had an all-time great tag team feud, and we have no one else in this tag team division, so, like, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to build up this one team and put them over forever. But the problem is, like, nobody cares about Gable and Benjamin, unfortunately. And so they just, like, they weren't right to take the titles off the Usos. And so when I saw that they were getting another shot at the Rumble, I cringed a little bit, because it's like, no one wants to see this. No one wants to see these guys win the titles. And then after Jey Uso got arrested for the DUI, it was like, oh, Gable and Ben, yeah, they're totally winning the titles, right?
But getting in the old Uso penitentiary, you know?
Oh, dude, of course. And then the Usos not only won, but they won decisively. And it was like, wow, that's one way to put over your champions as dominant. Just have them kill the team that they've been feuding with for like 3 months.
I mean, yeah, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, dude. And so, the other matches on this show,
were kind of forgettable.
Dude, you know what I noticed? You know what I noticed on the main card of the show? So there were 6 matches on the main card of the show. The 2 SmackDown Championship matches, the Men's Royal Rumble, the 2 Raw Championship matches, and the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, if you break it down, we had SmackDown Championship match, SmackDown Championship match, a SmackDown guy wins the Rumble. Then Raw Championship match, Raw Championship match, Raw woman wins the Rumble. It was just like a subtle bit of like, hey, Raw is the A show and SmackDown is the B show, because the matches that involve Raw stars are going on last because they're the more important ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the other matches on the show, the WWE Championship match, AJ against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
It was dumb. It was dumb.
It was fine. It was nothing spectacular. It did what it needed to do. AJ kept the belt, and it protected Owens and Sami by AJ winning with a roll-up. And so the feud can continue, and AJ doesn't have to lose the belt. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna lose the belt before WrestleMania. I feel like they are building this match to be that match.
Yeah, there's no logical reason for AJ to lose the belt.
Think about it. Yeah, I'm a little afraid, but think about it. We could have gotten Jinder Mahal versus John.
Yeah, John Cena. God, what a train wreck.
We could have gotten that. Now we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, dude, and the way they're building the story to this match is like, it's gonna be really, really good. Like, that's it. That's the entire build. Rem, you there? You still there?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. I thought I lost you for a second there. Anyway, the Raw Championship matches. So, God, we need to I think I already implied it, but this Men's Royal Rumble match went on in the middle of the show, which, God, it was a bad idea when I first saw it rumored, and it was a bad idea in execution. So, the Raw Tag Team Championship match, Sheamus and Cesaro against Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, had to follow the Men's Rumble, and the crowd was completely dead, and the whole story of this match, so this match went way too long for what it accomplished. The whole thing was Jason Jordan bonked his head on the ring post, and he was not in the match at all. So Seth Rollins just took a beating for like 10 minutes, and then the Bar won the titles. And this match didn't need to go this long. Like, I don't know. It just, the crowd was completely dead, and it just served no purpose to be going however long it went. I think like it might have gone like 11 minutes or something. But yeah, Jason Jordan, he tagged in, then he wobbled around for a little bit, and he's like, no, Seth, I can't do this. Get in there. And Jordan, he gets out of the ring, and then Rollins is like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? And so Jordan just sort of sat down for a while, and then Rollins got pinned. So, new Raw Tag Team Champions. Yay. Yeah, not much.
Okay, so the next match on the card is Brock Lesnar versus everyone else. And, spoiler alert, Brock Lesnar wins.
Dude, like, I don't remember a single thing about this match, except for there was one thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Braun kneed Brock in the side of the head. Like, it was a really stiff knee to the side of the head. And so Brock, in response, Brock stands up, and he clocked Braun with 2, like, very real, very hard haymakers. And the mic blanked out for a second because Brock yelled obscenities at Braun. I finally found out what it was. He punched Braun in the side of the head, and he yelled, "Slow the fuck down." And like in wrestling terms, when someone says to slow down, it's like you're not really concentrating on like being safe in the ring. You're just like doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff, and it's very easy to botch when you do that. And so Brock yelled at him to slow the fuck down.
Hashtag good guy Braun, I suppose.
Dude.
Brock. Sorry.
Yeah. And, dude, this punch from Brock to Braun was fucking vicious. Literally, like, he punched him right in the side of the head, and it was like, man, you hit someone in the right spot in the side of the head, and you could kill them. Like, it's not even a joke. He punched this man so hard. And Braun was, like, visibly staggered. Like, he fell to his knees it wouldn't have surprised me if he just fell over and was unconscious for the rest of the match, and it was just Brock versus Kane. So, yeah.
I'd expect.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just how it works.
So, like, if you remember last time Brock and Braun faced off, it was not good, because the whole build-up to the match was this, like, violent train wreck of an encounter, and then they just had a wrestling match, and the crowd just was, like, not into it at all. So this time it was just, like, weapons everywhere. Just violence, weapons, carnage, and honest to God, I do not remember how the crowd reacted. Brock won. Cool. Great.
I mean, here's the thing. The match stipulation was just set in stone, so nobody really cared.
Right, and everyone knew Brock was winning. So we could have had Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Finally, the last real match on the card, it was the Women's Royal Rumble.
I don't remember anything about this match either. Jesus Christ.
Where Stephanie McMahon put herself over, as always.
Man, I wish we had. Sorry, I wish we had like a really talented female announcer that could have done commentary instead of Stephanie. Man, what a shame.
Oh my God,
dude.
I remember three things about this match. The third thing will get pretty close to the end. But number one is that Stephanie McMahon cannot do commentary.
I remember like tuning in every once in a while, because I was totally out of it by the time this match was going on, but I would tune in every once in a while, and Stephanie would just yell something, and it's just like, please stop. Please stop.
If you look on Twitter, there's just so many cut mic jokes.
It was not good. Why was Renee Young not announcing this match?
Yeah, I'll be honest here. Because Stephanie McMahon invented women, that's the thing.
Yeah. And so in this... Oh, I remember the end, because it really stuck out to me. So the final three were Asuka and the Bella Twins, who had just returned. So this whole entire match was like a big nostalgia act. There were just so many like returns of old superstars.
Which in a way makes sense. To be in defense, since it's the first Women's Royal Rumble, there needs to be those legends.
Oh yeah,
they played a big part in the women's division.
Oh dude, yeah, dude, it was really cool. I tuned out and then tuned back in when I heard Beth Phoenix's music hit, because I love Beth Phoenix. And so I don't know, it was really cool seeing all the old names coming up.
It would make sense too. But you know what made me laugh the most was, so the final four was Sasha Banks, the Bella Twins, and Asuka. Sasha Banks was the first one of those four eliminated. Asuka's winning.
Dude, of course. Like, I was thinking, like, when it's down to Asuka and the Bella Twins, like, logically, who realistically thinks either Brie or Nikki Bella, after not wrestling Brie for 2 years, Nikki for almost a full year, who thinks either of these women are going to win this over the dominant, undefeated, full-time Asuka?
Speaking of which, why is Brie out of retirement? What was that thing?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But so this ending really stuck out to me because it reminded me of the Men's Rumble, because it was like Nikki Bella was like always pushed to the moon because she's John Cena's fiance, or wife. I don't know if they've gotten married or anything. But like she's a Vince McMahon superstar, and so the Rumble ended with, the favorite, the Japanese superstar, eliminating the Vince McMahon superstar, and it getting a huge pop. And so, yeah, Asuka won. And so, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss were sitting ringside with their titles for this historic moment. And so, after the match, they both hit the ring. And Asuka's like glancing back and forth, like, oh, who is she gonna challenge? And then Bad Reputation by Joan Jett and the Black Hearts starts playing, and the crowd starts like freaking out, and Corey Graves and Michael Cole start freaking out, like, oh my god. And then we get a shot of the Titantron, and Ronda Rousey came out, and
she was just pointing at things and looked really happy to be there.
She was really happy to be there. I bet she rehearsed it 1,000 times in her head. Like, okay, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna look nice. I'm gonna point at the sign. That's all I'm gonna do. And she just looks. She looked so awkward doing it, dude.
It was such an awkward segment, and it was amazing. It really elevated the moment, even though like the backstage believes it really detriment.
Dude, a lot of people like, okay, if you never watched UFC, Ronda always walked out to Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. And so as soon as that music hit, I didn't like mark out. I was like, oh, that's Ronda. Because like we all kind of expected her to show up at some point. But I don't think a lot of people realized as soon as the music hit, like what's about to happen. But yeah, it was Ronda. It was Ronda.
It was Ronda. Once again, I believe Meltzer said this, but like the women's locker room, though they have a lot of respect for her, did not like how she debuted. But like Meltzer says that like something about like the match itself wouldn't have been anything special if Ronda wasn't there.
I think I'm gonna disagree. I thought, like, as far as I could tell, the match went off pretty well. But it shouldn't have main evented. It shouldn't have main evented regardless.
I think at the moment Lita showed up, I was having a little too much. Like what I mean is like there's so many surprise returns and like surprise wins and all that stuff that just I was like okay, this is getting to be a little too much.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. It was good. It was enjoyable.
It was great. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So that was that for the weekend. God, I'm trying to remember. Not too much happened on Raw and SmackDown. We had a couple of Elimination Chamber qualifiers. So far we know Braun Strowman, John Cena, and Elias are in the chamber. Roman Reigns is definitely going to be in the chamber. I believe he's facing Bray Wyatt on Monday to decide who goes to the chamber. What else happened? Nothing in particular. Ronda Rousey, dude, Ronda Rousey was not on Raw. She was not on Raw.
I think she's going to be on... Okay, they said she's going to work a part-time schedule like Brock Lesnar. But I believe, like, one part of me thinks that shouldn't be the case. I feel like she wants to be full-time. And if she were, I think it'd be SmackDown.
I think she's also filming a movie that... Yeah, that's going to be... They're going to be filming for, like, another month. And so if she's not on TV, like, that's why.
Yeah, I feel like she would be sort of a SmackDown person because that would also enhance the women's division, and she's on the same place as Charlotte, which makes sense.
Yeah, so there's 2 rumored matches possible for Ronda at Mania. Her versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title, which great, or her and a partner versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, which like logically you would think her partner would have to be The Rock because of that thing they did at WrestleMania a few years ago. But one other possibility they could do is Braun Strowman because of Braun's interaction with Triple H at Survivor Series, and there has been absolutely no follow-up to that. So, I don't know. That could make sense.
It's very much up in the air at this point. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to be on TV for a while, so no point in speculating too much. On SmackDown, the only thing I really remember, so next week we're going to get, there's 2 matches confirmed. Rusev versus Bobby Roode for the U.S. title, which, God bless. It's going to fall on Rusev Day. What a coincidence.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm sorry, I had...
Also, Ronda Rousey's birthday was a few days ago. Well, that was also on Rusev Day. It's weird.
Dude, it's wild. I'm sorry, I had to throw that joke in at some point. But yeah, Bobby Roode versus Rusev for the U.S. title. And Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Winner faces AJ for the title at Fastlane. Which, it looks like Sami and Owens are going to break up. Sami walked out on the tag team match that was the main event. It was AJ and Nakamura against Owens and Zayn. It looks like they're breaking up Zayn and Owens, and if that happens, my guess is Zayn and Owens at WrestleMania, which, cool, awesome.
Well, that lasted long.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens can't keep friendships.
Dude, it's just not worth your time being friends with Kevin Owens around WrestleMania season. Like, something's going to go wrong. Let's see, what else?
Man.
Yeah, so 205 Live. So the whole thing with 205 Live, the show started with the announcement of, like, Daniel Bryan's going to announce the new GM of 205 Live and what we're going to do about this Cruiserweight title situation because of Enzo Amore, right? And so Daniel Bryan's music hits. He comes out with this guy standing behind him wearing a green tuxedo, tan, blonde, slick back hair. And we were both...
It's like an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, dude, we were like, who the fuck is that? And it flashes on the screen, Drake Maverick. And I took another look at him. I'm like, oh my god, it's Rockstar Spud.
No, see, you said it wrong. First off, Rockstar Spud is dead.
Yo, he died in a boat crash with Tyler Black and Prince Devitt and all those other guys.
Yeah, but Drake Maverick, you don't say it like Drake Maverick. You say it like Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick. So anyway, Drake Maverick, he came out, and he's like, we're going to have a 16-man tournament culminating at WrestleMania to determine the new Cruiserweight champion, and we're gonna start the first round tonight. There were 2 matches. It was Cedric Alexander against Grand Metalik, and Tyler Bate, former UK champion, against TJP. And so the first match was Alexander against Metalik, and it was good. Alexander won, unsurprisingly. And then Bate versus TJP. Now, this is very disputable. So TJP won. He pinned Tyler Bate. He grabbed the tights, and he pinned Tyler Bate. So the thing is, it became more apparent a few minutes later what their plan is. Their plan is, it looks like, to call up guys that qualify as cruiserweights from NXT for this tournament. So, like, Tyler Bate came in to put over TJP, and he's going to go back to NXT. And it became apparent because as the show was going off the air, they're like, next week we're going to have 2 more matches. We're going to have Kalisto against Lince Dorado and Hideo Itami against Roderick Strong. And it was like, wait, hold on. Roderick Strong on the main roster, but he's going to lose to Hideo Itami. The whole thing is to get these guys acclimated in front of the casual audience, because, like, the biggest issue, like, for example, with Itami, he comes up to 205 Live and nobody cares. He's just another guy. And so when Roderick Strong and Tyler Bate do eventually come up to the main roster, you know, people will have seen him and they'll know who he is. And so I don't know, it's good. You know, both these matches were really good. The crowd kind of got into it. Rem, were you going to say something?
Here's my problem with cruiserweight matches. I kind of change the channel whenever they show up.
Dude, me too, for a long time. But this episode of 205 Live was, like, really good. It's weird. What was that?
It's worth talking about.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, it just felt so weird. It was like the whole company had been rebooted. It was like the entire time I was questioning, like, is Triple H booking this? Like, there's no way Vince McMahon is booking these shows, because it was really good. A lot of the booking made sense. The right guys went over. For example, Rusev. Like, it feels different than it did just a week or two ago. Also, the new graphics.
I agree.
The new graphics that they debuted. Some of them are good, some of them suck. So the ones they had on Raw were good. And then on SmackDown, there was the Usos cutting a promo. Whenever they would say locked down, this like CGI cage door would swing closed. Like they got locked in the Uso penitentiary. Right? And that just it looks so corny and stupid.
I mean, hey man, it's just how it is.
It is just how it is, man. Yeah, so...
Well, yeah, but like, so wrestling had one of the most interesting weeks in a long time.
Dude, it was really good. Oh my god, we've been talking for an hour. What happened?
I know, because it's just like, there's so much to talk about.
There was so much to talk about. And I'm sorry if I dominated the mic a little bit, Rem.
Which is alright.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's one real final thing I need to throw in.
Yeah.
And that is a hung update.
What was that? Your audio cut out for a second.
A hung update.
Oh, Adam Hangman Page.
The never-ending battle of who is truly hung. Hangman Page or Joey Ryan. You see, the last we saw of Joey Ryan was just looking sad on a park bench.
Dude,
that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Okay. If Hangman Page versus Joey Ryan happens at All In, and All In is in Chicago, then like we are so going, and that is the match we are absolutely paying for. I don't care if we get Kenny versus Cody 2 at All In. Like we're there for Hangman and Joey Ryan, and that's it.
Damn right. So yeah, wrestling.
Yeah,
was really great this week.
Yeah,
and it's really making us look forward to more of 2018 and what it has to offer, especially after a lackluster 2017.
Yeah, so that's about it for this episode. This has been Respectful Wrestling Discourse. My name is Billy Collins. That has been Remy Alberts. Remember, if you like this content, like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like it, still like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment or whatever you want. Tell your friends. Do whatever you want. And yeah, that's it. I'll be signing off right about now. We will catch you all on the flip side.